Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to our webinar, Why Use Virtual Tape for IBM? So today we're going to talk about 8 reasons why a switch to virtual tape can be worth your time. My name is Axe Signer, Vice President of Solutions here at Electronic Storage Corporation. Little background on our company: we are a software developer. We've been in business for over 30 years. So here at our Tulsa, Oklahoma location, we have our own programming staff, as well as our own technical support and customer service staff. We're an IBM registered business partner and a Microsoft certified partner. So today's webcast, we're going to talk about what is virtual tape. Is virtual tape right for your environment? 8 reasons why a switch to virtual tape can be worth your time. And then we'll just do a short, quick demonstration of our solution, Vital. So what is virtual tape? Provides the ability to back up and recover a process, simplifying, strengthening data protection, transfers, and storage. So automation is the key here in terms of using a virtual tape solution as opposed to physical tape. Also, the fact that virtual tape can appear to the iSeries just like physical tape, meaning that implementation is quick and easy, and transferring from physical tape to virtual tape is really very simple. So our solution emulates a tape library or a tape device. The tape library itself, no matter if you have one or more tape libraries, can support up to over 16,000 virtual tape cartridges with our VTL solution. This connection from our solution to the iSeries can either be a fiber channel connection or a SAS connection with one tape library per connection. Unless you're using if you're using fiber channel, NPIV is supported, which means that you can have up to 15 tape devices per fiber channel connection to LaserVault Vital appliance. So is virtual tape right for your business? If you're using physical tape, you're probably thinking, how could we eliminate all of the manual labor and processes that are involved being on site to change out tapes, things like that, where you are looking to automate that process, where you're not having to deal with physical tapes, you're not having to move physical tapes to offsite locations, where you can do everything completely automated, completely unattended with a virtual tape solution. Also, you can still use physical tape with virtual tape. So if you have a particular backup requirement, stipulation, compliance with using tape for certain backups, maybe they're long-term monthly backups or annual backups, not only can they be stored online, but they can also easily be copied to tape, and that process can be completely automated. Now, this solution is for all sizes, all company sizes, SMB to enterprise level companies, because of the fact that this is really a software solution that emulates a tape device or a tape library for the IBM system. So eight reasons on why a switch to virtual tape can be worth your time. Simplicity is number 1. Now, all 8 of these reasons really apply to saving money and saving time. Simplicity is one of these things where compared to tape, using virtual tape is really simple because once the solution is connected, turned on, you've got a new tape device or tape library on your system that you're ready to start using your backups for. You can use your current backup commands, your current CL programs. You can use BRMS, Robot Save. Really simple to integrate your current backup processing to this because it's just like using tape. Free up IT hours for other responsibilities. Whether you have IT personnel coming into the office to change out tapes, move tapes off site, inventory tapes, all of these things are repetitive, time-intensive tasks and involve, because it's all involved managing of the physical tapes. Reduce the risk of human error, lost tapes, tape drive failures. So if you're looking at your tape device and it's starting to become a bit older, then you can take a look at a virtual tape solution so that you don't have to purchase a new tape device or tape library. Maintenance is going to expire soon on your tape device, things like that you can easily look at a virtual tape solution. Easy implementation, so immediate return on your investment beginning using day one. Many of our customers opt for the remote installation and training of our solution, and that is typically done in one day, where you've got your new tape library or tape device on your system. It's ready to go. It's available before the training is complete. So it's less than a day to get up and running with your new device to save to disk instead of tape. Remote management. So manage backups from any chair, anywhere. No longer need to be on site, because these are all virtual tapes. You're using disk. There's no movement of tapes, inventory of tapes that require you to be on site. So you can do this remotely because everything's running completely automated. Encryption. So our solution includes encryption, AES 256 encryption, to secure your data as it's being saved. So it's going to be encrypted at rest and upon replication. So we're going to talk a little bit about replication, where anytime you replicate that data, it will also be encrypted during the replication, and at the target location in which the data is being replicated, it will also be encrypted. So this is going to help you defend against cyber attacks, data breaches, malware, ransomware, and it protects data on premise and in the cloud. So cloud storage is another way that you can use to store copies of your backups, and we'll talk a little bit about that as well. Compression. So compression is included with LaserVault. It averages about 5-to-1 compression, depending on the type of data that you're saving. So this is going to reduce the amount of storage space needed for your backups. For replication, making copies of your backups, it's going to reduce transmission time, speed up file transfers. And so that gives you an automatic option within the license of our VTL solution to turn on compression of those backups. Deduplication. LaserVault Vital now has deduplication. So this can actually increase your compression. If you're using normal compression that is included with the product, you go to deduplication. This can up your compression 10-to-1 and sometimes as high as 20-to-1 compression of your data. So it's going to eliminate excessive repetition of data, which in some cases, backup information from the iSeries is a lot of repetitive information. So that all of that is not stored with deduplication. So this greatly reduces the cost of storing your data, whether it's on a server with disk space or whether it is a SAN or NAS that you're saving to. The deduplication is going to also reduce the amount of data that you're replicating from one site to the other, whether you're replicating from your production site to a DR site or co-location, or replicating from your production site on-premise to cloud storage. Deduplication is fast. It saves you money and disk space and greatly reduces the amount of data that you're going to replicate to a DR site or cloud storage, so you can have 2 copies of your backups. So replication, talked a little bit about replication. Replication can be done in many different ways. Replication can be done where you copy your backups to tape. Replication can be to cloud storage. Replication could be to a DR site. So you have a number of different options in which you can make multiple copies of your backups to shore up your disaster recovery protection. This is not something that's really done with tape. I've not heard of anybody that's actually making 2 copies of their backups if they're using physical tape. Well, the fact that you're saving to disk makes that completely possible, and is going to protect your data quite a bit better than having just 1 copy of your backup on tape, even though it may be off-site. So flexibility. This is another big benefit with our LaserVault Vital solution. The fact that you can leverage existing NAS or SAN or deduplication appliance storage or cloud storage. So if you're looking at any kind of deduplication appliance, or you currently have one, you could use that storage for your iSeries backups with LaserVault. So this gives you the opportunity to leverage existing storage for your backups and the existing benefits of that storage. If it's doing deduplication, replication, data protection, immutability of your data, you get all those benefits of those solutions with your iSeries backups just by having LaserVault. Achieve 3-2-1 backup standard recommended by experts. So this allows you to create multiple copies, 2 on-site copies, a tape copy, a DR copy. All of this gives you the ability to really protect your data from any kind of loss. And we can customize systems to meet your business requirements, so and your budgets. So this makes it very simple to really lock in what exactly that you need or that you would like to use for your disk-to-disk backup solution for the iSeries. Recovery. So your backups are always online, right? No need to go get tapes. No need to go to the vault. No need to call Iron Mountain. No need to bring tapes from home, which actually some people do take tapes home for disaster recovery. So this is going to be where you're always able to restore at any time, day or night, because all of your virtual tapes are online, available, and can be just at a click of the mouse. You're able to restore that data or go right to the iSeries, load that virtual tape up into the drive and do the restore. Okay, so let's take a look at our VTL solution a little bit with a quick little demo. So this is our web interface to access the VTL. So it is secured with the username and password to access the VTL interface. I'm going to go right to libraries. So I have 2 configurations. Library 1 is actually a tape library. Library 2 is actually a tape device. So when we look at this on the iSeries side, Library 1 is TAP MLB V1 with a tape device of TAP V1. So as soon as you make the connection, either fiber channel or SAS from your iSeries to your LaserVault solution, then AutoConfig is going to automatically detect that and give you a device description for your new tape library, your new tape device. Now, Library 2 in the LaserVault configuration is actually a tape device called TAP V2. The difference would be is that, say you're using BRMS or Robot Save, you're replacing a physical tape library or an existing VTL solution, you need a tape library. So then therefore you would use LaserVault as that and interface it with BRMS or Robot Save. If you're using any of the Go Save commands from the Go Save menu in a CL program or whatever, then you could use the LaserVault system as a single tape device and automatically load and unload and create tapes for your backups. So it has some flexibility there depending on how you run your backups, whether you're using Go Save commands or using BRMS Robot Save. Can edit the configuration. So we talked about disk storage. Library path is your disk storage for your virtual tapes and your saves to those tapes. So in this case, I have a server that's running the VTL solution, connected fiber channel to our iSeries. It could be SAS instead. And then I have an E volume of disk on this server in which I store my backups. Instead, this could be a share path to a NAS or SAN or deduplication appliance, and that's where the backups reside. So then LaserVault really just becomes a gateway to the storage. It becomes the VTL for your iSeries to provide you tapes, to allow you to run your backups, but you're able to use whatever storage that you would like or currently have for your backups. Now, LaserVault currently emulates Ultra M5. There's 2 important things to note here on this. There's no storage limit on these virtual tapes. So if your backup is 20 terabytes, you can save that to 1 tape. You'll never have a storage limit on tapes. It also doesn't affect speed of the backups. Backups to disk are typically faster than tape. So you'll typically see a faster backup speed shorter backup windows that you're able to accomplish with backing up to disk instead of tape. Storage slots, again, this can be over 16,000 storage slots. Mine is set to 48. I can actually increase this number of storage slots anytime I want to get more tapes and add more tapes to the solution. Something that you really can't do with a physical tape device or tape library. So if you do need more tapes, add more slots, add the tapes in, and you're ready to go. Here we have compression option. Check the box for compression, deduplication, encryption. Here's your encryption key for your encryption. And then we have replication. I have 3 examples of replication where you're making copies of your backups to a network path. So you could have 2 LaserVault servers. You could have a LaserVault server with disk and cloud storage. You could have you could replicate from 2 different storage SAN or NAS appliances. So this is replication within LaserVault. Amazon S3 is another replication. Microsoft Azure replication. So that is replicating to cloud storage. And in addition to replication, you have down below local retention and remote retention. It allows you to set automatically tapes that are going to be needed to be deleted based on age or number of volumes, that those tapes would be deleted because they've become expired. Now, if you're using BRMS or Robot Save, that is all handled through those backup applications. But if you're creating tapes, each day for a backup, and you want to set a retention on the local and also the remote, if you're replicating those, what's nice about this is you can do different retentions based on local or remote copies. Now, the replication process, once defined and set up, is completely automated. Runs as an automated scheduled task. And again, compression averages about 5 to 1. So you can kind of calculate the amount of data based on, say, a full save, 5 to 1 compression with replication. In the case of deduplication, your compression be as high as 10 to 1 or even up to 20 to 1. I think one of our recent customers, their highest is about 22 to 1, and their lowest partition in terms of compression on dedupe is 11 to 1. So this is actually the actual tapes in the library. So you can see we have slots, 1, 2, 3, etc. We have a tape drive here. Now, if you're using this and set up with NPIV and you're using fiber channel, you can have 15 devices on this tape library with one of those physical fiber channel ports that's in LaserVault. So that gives you the ability to create more tape libraries and tape devices without having to add additional fiber channel ports to LaserVault. And that means you can set up, where you can share a tape library across multiple partitions with drives that are available, or you can have a tape library for each of your partitions if you want to set it up that way. So it gives you the flexibility to define how you want to, set up the number of tape drives and tape libraries that you need to run your backups. If you're doing any backups where you're using multiple tape drives, running parallel saves, things like that, all can be done with LaserVault. So really what you're doing is you're taking everything that you're doing now with a physical tape, and you're just saying, let's do this instead on another tape library with new tapes and everything so that you can have that ready to go with your backups. And also you have some other options in here. You have move. You can move a tape into the drive because you can IPL from any of these tapes if they're a full system save and you need to move a tape into the drive to IPL a system. You can simply do that by using the move option and move it into a drive. Delete will remove the tape. Now I'm administrator, so I have all of these options. You can actually protect based on username and password which of these features a person would have when they log in. Export, I can move the tape to a different storage location for long-term storage, maybe cloud storage. Maybe you want to use the inexpensive, cold storage in the cloud, Glacier storage, that kind of thing. Protect the tape means that you cannot delete it, cannot overwrite it, and you cannot initialize it. And we actually have an iSeries command that will send to the tape, tell the tape library to protect a particular tape. So you can completely automate that process. Labels, this is kind of a cool feature where you can quickly check to see what's on the tapes. So you can check the libraries that are on the tapes, the sequence, the size, creation date, and other information. So if you didn't want to load it and do a check tape, you could go here, click labels, and see everything that's on that tape. Okay, so this is the web interface, really simple to use. And really, once you've got this set up, you're really going to use the iSeries for all your processing, all your backups, managing your tapes, everything like that. You do use this to create your tapes. Up here at the top, there's a create button. Put in your volume prefix, create multiple tape images, and then you can go ahead and initialize those tapes. So if you do create multiple tape images, it'll tell you the next slot that's available and the number of slots left, so that tells you how many tapes you can go ahead and create. And again, you can change this to additional tape slots of up to 16,000 tape slots. So once these are added, they're going to be inserted status. So they're inserted as new tapes into the tape library. So on the iSeries, they're inserted. You can go ahead and add those into BRMS, robot save with a media class, a media policies, and use, set everything up in BRMS or robot save or your go save commands to utilize these particular tapes that are ready to go. And then library 2 is I'm using this as a tape device instead of a tape library. So there's a number of ways you can use this to automatically create a tape for the backup. So there's an iSeries command that we provide that is a create tape command where you can give it a volume ID and a serial number, which actually gives you up to 12 characters for that serial number ID. So it automatically creates the tape, loads it in the drive, and initializes it, and your backup is ready to run. So that is, if you're using a single tape device, you're having to load and unload tapes every day, that process can be eliminated with this because you're automatically creating your tapes without any kind of labor-intensive action where you're having to load and unload tapes physically. This is going to do this for you as an automated process to create your tape, load it, initialize it, and run your backup. And then you can set a retention on it. Or you can create a set of tapes that you're going to use to rotate through. And we have a load tape command on the iSeries that you can use to automatically load a particular tape for the backup that's going to run that night. So that's our solution. It's extremely simple to use the solution, to use this web interface to create your tapes. And then you're ready to start setting up your iSeries backup procedures and transferring those from your existing device, physical or virtual, to this solution. Okay, so additional resources. We have 2 documents in the Go to Webinar panel. It should be on the right side of your screen there, in which you can download our vital technical specifications and a second document, virtual tape versus tape comparison. This is recorded, so you will receive a link of this recording later today. To learn more about our solutions, we have our website is LaserVault.com. Also, you can check out information in IBM Global Solutions directory. So I do want to personally invite you to a live demo, a technical demo of this solution, because we'd like to learn about your iSeries environment, what you're using for backups, how much data you're saving, how many partitions, what kind of storage that you'd like to use for your backups. So we really want to get to know how we can configure this solution to fit exactly what you need in a virtual tape solution. And also, the great thing is you get a $50 Amazon gift card for actually doing the demonstration. You can email us at info@laservault.com, mention AGC50 to receive your gift card when the demo is complete, no obligations. Also, for today's webinar, we're having a drawing for a Bose Bluetooth speaker. Those sound really good, by the way. So once we conclude this webinar, we'll do a drawing and notify the winner of the Bluetooth speaker. info@laservault.com. You can reach me at that number and that extension. And I think we have a couple of questions. I'm going to go ahead and answer those. LaserVault have a physical VTL appliance that can be used with IBM I. Yes. You can do this in two different ways. You can do this with a physical appliance with fiber channel or SAS. So you are required to have, for a VTL solution to be present, for a tape library to be present or a tape device to be present on the iSeries, it's got to be fiber channel and to be able to do a D-mode IPL of your iSeries from virtual tape, you've got to have a SAS or fiber channel connection. Now you can install the VTL solution Vital in a VM environment, but you still need in the server that hosts the VM a PCIe slot for fiber channel HBA or SAS HBA. Now we do have a TCP/IP solution that does backups, and that can run in a VM, and it only would require your existing network connection of your iSeries to perform your backups. So if you'd like to, it also depends using that solution compared to fiber channel. With TCP/IP, you're typically using a 1 gig Ethernet connection. With fiber channel or SAS, you're up to 16 gig connection. So depending on the amount of data that you're saving, 1 gig TCP/IP may not be fast enough to complete your backups within a reasonable amount of time. So you'd want to look at, using a fiber channel or SAS connection to have a high-speed data transfer of your backups from the iSeries to LaserVault. Okay, so that looks like it for the questions. I want to thank everybody for your time, and please let us know if there's anything we can do to help you take a look at whether or not a VTL solution would be beneficial in your iSeries backup environment. Thanks everybody for your time, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon.